Those glass blocks.
So this is making a lot of news. This girl is Micah Stauffer, and she is a YouTuber who has a bunch of kids. She's gorgeous. She looks like she could be one of the realtors on Selling Sunset.
Yeah.
And she adopted a boy named Huxley from China. He was maybe like 1.5 when she adopted him with her husband. All of it was on their YouTube channel. They did many videos where they'd be like, and this video is sponsored by Draft. Today we're going to, and many really cute pictures of the family. They're all adorable. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4 kids of their biological, and then Huxley. And then they also talked about how they were going to adopt other kids. And anyway, they stopped showing photos of Huxley. And, internet investigators did their job and realized that he had not been in the photos for a long time. And they pressed him to the point where then they finally had to make a statement, do a YouTube video, or maybe it was a statement where they said, he is no longer in our family. We had to rehome him. We realized later he was diagnosed with autism, and it was just, he's in a much better home now, and he's happy about it. And was his decision too.
Yeah. He was 4? Yeah.
So I don't know that it was his decision, but a lot of people felt like, it's not a dog that you rehome. Right. But then there was this article that just came out today from Page 6, a beautiful girl. She's a flight attendant. She was adopted from somewhere in Eastern Europe at 7 by a very wealthy family that had 4 of their own biological and a few adopted kids. And she just really struggled. She said she was horrible. She said she bit the parents.
Yeah.
She abused the other kids. She just, would scream in a closet for hours. She had a really hard time. And finally, one day they brought her to her friend's house. And the friend's mom said, I'm going to tell you this because your parents can't. But you're going to go to this other home for a while. And then in 2 weeks, you'll come back. But we just think.
Where'd she go?
She left Maryland and went to Ohio. And then when she got to that other family, they were really Christian. And they only had one other daughter that was closer to her age. And they said, well, this is your forever home. And she said, well, not forever. I have a ticket to go back to Maryland in 2 weeks. They said, no, that was a lie.
So did she wind up getting normal?
She said she did. She said she's kind of defending them because she's like, my parents literally had to hide their wounds.
Right.
Because I was that violent toward them. And the truth is, it was really hard. But then after about 7 months, I realized I did better in a smaller home with just the 2 parents and the 1 sister. They were very Christian. Which was something that the Maryland people were very liberal and not religious. Yeah. But they also would just pay for everything to be done, like cleaning and maids and stuff. And she's they taught her to do chores. She had her own lawn mowing business at 13. And that kind of structure and less children around really helped. And now everything's fine. She still sees the Maryland siblings and parents. She has a great relationship with the Ohio people. She's a flight attendant.
So where did this kid go? Huxley? Did he go back to China?
No. He's at another family that is, I believe, just better qualified and equipped to handle a child. And I do think maybe sometimes if a child...
Amazon, you have to save because sometimes with Amazon, you don't have to save the box anymore. You can just take it. They really don't need the box. You can take it to UPS.
Costco, you don't need anything.
No, they take it right back. Actually, I heard they gave this kid the Costco. And they took. But I mean, I don't know if it's true or not, and I don't know if somebody was making a joke online. But they said one of the reasons was because he wasn't the videos that they were putting on YouTube. I guess they were making some money off it.
Oh yeah, that's why people are. That's one of the things people are mad.
Is that the money wasn't coming in anymore for him? So they were like, well, he's not.
That's what they think?
Yeah, the ads weren't as big as they were when the kid was 2 as they are when he's 4. So we got to get rid of him.
I don't think that's it.
That's what I heard. This
is what I think. I think they had the best intentions.
Yeah.
They want it to be that family. I know some people, it's again what I talk about, it's like a hero complex. Some people, I'm not saying everybody that adopts a child has that, but I think maybe she loved the idea of I can love a non-biological child just as much as I can love my own, and this is going to be beautiful. But in an earlier video, she did say that this little girl got along with him really, really well.
Yeah.
But the two others, they all hated each other.
Oh, really?
He was violent towards the older ones, and they didn't like him because he was violent. They were like, he bites us, Mom. We don't like him.
Huh.
And every day was just a real struggle. And,
I would imagine it's got to be tough to do that.
It's got to be. So I think what happened is I think they had the best intentions. They had the means to do it because they had the YouTube income. And why not share it? And why not inspire other people to adopt? And then when it really started to show that it was just really too much, maybe even a doctor or a therapist may have said, this isn't, he might just do better in a home where it's just he's the only child. I mean, that is sometimes the case. So I think people got really mad, though. They were saying, take down any video that he's featured in. You shouldn't still be making ad money off of those.
Oh, okay. That's kind of maybe that. Yeah, I agree with all that. So are they going to do a follow-up on this kid where he is now? I'd like to know.
He is with Kate plus 8's older son. Colin.
He could fit right in with Brad and Angelina. That kid, he could jump right in there. They're a little older now, but
I mean, I hope it's all good. But I mean, it is whatever. I adopted my dog. I have a new dog.
Is that for real or not?
No, we have her. She's our dog. Her name's Raven.
Really?
Yes, she's 7.
An Alaskan
She's
Malamute.
a middle-aged, no longer can have purebred babies.
But why did you get that dog?
Peter just met that breed once and then went on a Facebook page and saw that someone wanted to give up a dog, and we wanted to adopt. We didn't want to get a purebred puppy or anything. Yeah. And she is cute. I like walking her. But then Drake said to me, he goes, "Can I tell you something, Mom?" I go, "What?" He goes, just, and he's like, never mind, just like guilt. And I go, "Just say it." I go, "I know what you're going to say, Drake." He goes, "What?" I go, "You love Simba more, the cat."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I do. I just don't feel the same about the dog." And I said, Drake, when he's first, right? And then when I had Brandon. Yeah. And Brandon was really cute, and he was in my arms. And then you came over to visit me at the hospital at 2.5. I said, if I had to choose, I would choose you over Brandon. I did not feel the bond.
Right.
Like I did with the child that is 2.5 years old.
Yeah.
And so I go, but it changed shortly after.
Yeah.
And now I do probably like Brandon more than you. So, but I said, so Simba is essentially like their firstborn.
Right.
And Simba is just softer and just easier. It's a cat.
Right. This is a big husky, right?
No, she's a little husky.
Oh,
she looks like a miniature husky, but her name she's actually an Alaskan Klee Kai.
Okay.
Klee Kai. Kai.
Sure.
Like the lotion, which is very nice.
Yeah.
So anyway, she I'm I'm enjoying her. She's way more into the boys than me.
Yeah. Now you can't give that dog back now that you've.
I'm not. No, we're not giving her back. There's no reason to give her back. We would never. I mean,
because Ellen got in trouble for that.
Well, who's also giving his dog back right now? Andy Cohen.
I read that.
And that's Waka. He's on the cover of his latest book. Yeah. He's in the opening credits, and again it's been a while since the dog's been gone, and he finally had to come out with it. So he decided to do it on the day of the riots.
Oh, yeah, that was good time. Good timing.
Just get it buried a little bit.
Right.
But,
I read the post.
He has a son.
Yeah.
Baby Ben. And in what I read his post, something must have happened.
Yeah.
And the dog must have lurched at him, hurt him, or one too many incidences, or that he had to keep them separated. It's a small apartment. I mean, even though it's expensive, I'm sure it's not, 10,000 square feet. And so, and so the dog went to the place where the dog would always go whenever he went on a trip. Those people took the dog.
So it's, like
so
one
it's
of
a
his
familiar
friends.
home. Yeah, it's like a familiar home, and you can still see the dog. But the human does have to come first.
Of course.
And so it's like,
Can't give the
but I
kid-
do feel badly for Waka and for Andy because Waka's been such a big part of his persona and his life, and
Right.
people bring Waka gifts when when they go to his live shows and all that kind of stuff. So far so good. The cat is got a little aggressive with Raven. Has chased her a little bit.
Yeah.
But Raven's just like, she's just getting used to things and stuff.
It's very new relationship.
Yeah, but she's cute, and she does bark, but it's a weird bark. It's almost like she lost a vocal cord, which was happened to my mother too. One time she was yelling at the five of us, and it just kind of went. So she always kind of had like a little voice like this, but she can't really scream. Like she can talk, but she can't scream. So her bark is like this, like that.
That sounds like really.
And it's very rare. It's only when she like has to pee or something.
Yeah. Well, that's not so bad.
No.
Yeah.
No, she's great. But I think sometimes as a mom, you just be honest. Like you sometimes like a kid better, or sometimes you are more bonded to your firstborn for a while, but it all evens out.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody has their moments, I think.
Yeah.
I think in my family, my mother likes me the best because, I've been on television a couple times, and I think that's the only reason.
Well, I was totally the favorite.
Yeah.
And look what it did for me. My siblings wanted to kill me because of it. So
Yeah.
why is this photo in here? Oh, this is the bodyguard photos. Oh, here we go. I'm watching him on YouTube. Oh, he's pretty cute, the bodyguard. Okay, I jumped over to some other topics. Okay, so this is kind of interesting. Naomi Watts and Liv Schreiber, who's the guy from what's his show from where he's the Calabasas gangster.
He was on Showtime. I forget.
Ray Donovan.
Ray Donovan. Yeah.
They have a couple kids. I don't know if they ever got married, but they did break up. Anyway, 11-year romance. They got ice cream to go at Carvel together in East Hamptons on Sunday. And it was a lot of, we started to talk about Carvel ice cream.
Carvel, yeah. It's
Did you grow up with Carvel?
I did, yeah.
We had Carvel here. I didn't know it was an East Coast thing.
It is. Well, I thought it was an East Coast thing, but they used to have a thing called Fudgy the Whale. That was they had a whale-shaped cake.
Signature cake.
It was their signature cake. But then they wound up they would do other cakes.
Yeah.
St. Patrick's Day cake.
Right.
But I started to notice that it's all the same. It's all fudgy mold. It's all the Fudgy the Whale mold. They would just put frosting on differently for like St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I used to always get a Carvel ice cream cake for my swim party / sleepover, okay, with the girls. And I can literally taste that cake right now.
Yeah.
One bottom is vanilla.
Chocolate.
Then those little crunchies.
Crunchies.
The black, like it's like
The greatest
it's like
thing ever.
balls of Oreo
Yeah.
crunchies. Then chocolate. Then there'd be that weird, like hard whipped cream, which I never cared for on the top.
Yeah.
I sometimes just scrape that off. Didn't
The
need
problem
it.
with them is though, you've taken it right out of the freezer and go try to put the knife in.
No, you have
It's
to let it
rock
sit.
hard.
No.
And then you leave it out for 10 minutes. It's melted completely. You have a very small window with the Carvel ice cream cake to get it just right.
Yes.
And it was very tough to cut. Like, I don't know how more people.
You're
did not
right. It
kill
was always a
themselves.
struggle.
Yeah, it was a struggle. And we used to use it at the Franjola house. We were doing pretty well at one point, doing pretty well for ourselves. We got an electric knife. Remember those? Where you just turn it on, and it was two knives that went like this. So, but my mother's like, I'll use the electric knife. But you put it in, and then you pull the electric knife out, and it just shot ice cream all over the children at the party because it was still on.
Oh yeah, hard to get the hard to get even the candles in there.
Yeah, it was a real pain in the ass. I don't know if I have the most amazing hack to cutting into a big cake. Did I ever show it to you?
No, I don't think you have.
Well,
Why don't you tell us, Chris?
Well,
Here at
it's funny-
Heather's
it's
Hacks
funny
and Funds. Go.
Because we used to do a lot of parties on Chelsea lately.
Yeah.
We do our birthday parties.
Yeah.
And I forget who it was. Somebody got like big giant cakes.
Yeah.
And I showed this cake cutting hack to everybody. And Tom Brunel, who's the producer of Chelsea, still texts me all the time. And he goes, I'm using your...
Okay, what is it?
Okay, yeah, say you have a big cake. Most people will cut into the big cake and just do like triangles. And then it's very hard
A round
to get...
cake.
Yes, a
Yes.
round cake. It's very hard to get them all out because it's a big cake.
Yeah.
What you do with a big round cake is you cut a circle in the center of the cake first. Then you cut around that circle and you have smaller, nicer pieces that are much easier to handle.
And then who gets the filet mignon of the cake?
That's the next thing. Then you can cut that down into smaller pieces. So you just got to cut it. It's the greatest thing anyone's ever shoot.
And you know what's kind of great? I would give the person whose birthday it is the filet mignon.
Or you could do that.
You know what I always noticed is like, whenever it was my birthday party with Carvel, my mom served everyone first.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I just remember being at some other girl's birthday party and the lady starts doing the cake and I grab the first one. I'm the guest.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. It's Kaylee's birthday. She gets the first piece. And I remember going,
Wow.
I like the way
Yeah.
my mom did it. I think you
Yeah,
should serve your guests first.
Yeah, I think so too. I agree with that one. I agree with your mom on that one.
Classy lady. Okay. 90 Day
But what was the Liev Schreiber story?
That was it. Just that they met for ice cream. But we just got into
Oh.
Carvel's.
I saw him one time in the Hamptons. I saw him with the girl. I don't know if they were just friends or whatever, but he was with the girl from The Affair. He was with that girl. You know the woman from The Affair?
Yes.
They were together. I don't know if they were just friends, but because they're divorced now, him and Naomi Watts, right?
Right. Well, I don't know if they ever got married. But I talked to him at a Showtime party, and oh my God, he's so hot. I
Handsome
loved
guy,
him in the
yeah.
show. And then a friend of mine is his makeup artist, and I didn't feel comfortable asking her if she'd fucked him. But if I see her again, I'm going to, because
Yeah.
I think she may have.
Okay.
Okay.
I'd like to hear that.
90 Day Fiancé. Gonna tell you a little bit about this. I know you're not really watching, but there's 12 different franchises.
Yeah.
But baby girl Lisa Usman, he is from Nigeria. His name, he goes by Soulja Boy. He's a big celebrity in Nigeria.
Oh,
he
okay.
sings. They met. She's 52
Does
years
he know
old.
there's already a Soldier Boy
Yes,
here in America? Okay.
he does. He doesn't really care.
Yeah.
And she's 52, and they finally got married. And she's got this face like this. And she thinks he cheats all the time. And so they finally got married. I'm just filling people in. This was amazing. This guy is David. He's 60.
Yeah.
This is Lana. She's 28 from the Ukraine. They've been on a dating site. And
He doesn't look too bad for 60.
that's exactly it.
Yeah.
He's not that bad. But then you talk to him and you meet him. And I was having post-traumatic stress of when I would meet someone like that back in the day.
Yeah.
And I would agree to go to Mezzaluna or something for dinner. And then before the appetizer sits down, you realize why this guy is so old and has never been married.
Yeah.
There's a real reason.
Oh, he's annoying. What is his problem?
And Drake kept asking me to explain it because I think he doesn't want to be that. And I go, I can't. I go, it's like he likes you too much. It's like it's like a weird, because every time he hugs her, she wants to curl up and die.
Yeah.
But she's doing it because she wants to come to America and move to Las Vegas. He's got this big, huge, oversized trench coat on. He always wears these colored shirts. But he does look kind of young for 60, and he's not terrible looking.
Yeah.
But you get that he's just such a weirdo. He collects unicycles too and wants to travel the world in an RV.
Well, there's say no more.
Let's talk about some breakups.
Yes, this is a good one.
This is a good one. Thomas Middleditch and
Yeah.
his wife go from swinging open marriage to divorce. So he is the guy that was on the HBO show, what was it
Silicon
called?
Valley,
Silicon
yeah.
Valley. And he gave an article to People, Playboy magazine, which by the way, isn't that gone? Anyway, saying
Yeah, it was a couple years ago, yeah.
right after we got married, I said to her, I don't think I can do a conventional marriage. And I'd like to talk about an open marriage and a swinging marriage. And he said she didn't freak out. She said, well, let's try to work this out. Well, they didn't. They didn't work it out. They just announced that they're getting divorced.
Had they done swinging though? Were they swinging?
Yes, I mean, in the article,
Yeah.
he said they exercise a open marriage, whether swinging is, I mean, I think there's a difference between an open marriage and swinging.
I think there is,
Swinging
too.
is like you go to a party together, you find the couple together, you switch partners,
Right.
then you're not supposed to see the other person separate from your spouse.
After it's over.
After it's over, before, like, it's like you meet the couples together, you hang out together, you swing, that's it. Open marriage is like, let's just have an open marriage. Don't ask, don't tell. I mean, I don't know. Let's not fall in love. Let's
Right.
not have babies. But if I want to explore something else, that I really don't think works.
No.
Because how can like one person go and date? I interviewed this girl who's like a funny mom. And then, towards the end of the interview is when I was like, tell me about this open marriage stuff. And then it got really juicy. And it was just really like, she just kind of went to her husband and it kind of seemed like, I think in her case, in a woman's case, it's like the husband's kind of not that sexual or is kind of over sex.
Yeah.
And you're like, look, I don't want to divorce you, but I got to get fucked. So what do you want to do about it? You're going to either let me go out and like have some fun, and I'd rather not be cheating. I'd rather I still want to come home to you, but I would like to get boned. And if you don't want to bone me, I want to be with someone. That situation, I think, is beautiful. I think if that you could do, fine. Right. But I feel like men are never going to be as honest as women. Like if a woman really is like, look, I'm never going to fuck. I mean, I don't know. There might be, I wonder if there's couples where like one just goes, look, I never want to have sex with you again.
Right.
I don't want to divorce you. I want to raise our kids. I'm happy being roommates. And as long as you don't fall in love and I don't really know about it, I don't really care.
Yeah.
But I think we're just part of a secret. I don't know. What do you think? I think putting it all on the table, maybe it's too weird.
I don't get the swinger thing at all. And I know it's a lifestyle choice some people make, and that's fine. It's not my style at all. I know we've talked about
never.
this.
Yeah, I could never.
I know. I just think it's like, I always go back to that movie, Indecent Proposal. I feel like it would be one of those things where you say, oh, no problem, do it. And then it would haunt you, like how, that's what happened to Woody Harrelson in that movie. He was like, how was it? You tell me about Robert Redford. And so then it becomes an issue. I don't know.
Yes.
It feels like a weird thing to me.
And then she ends up with him.
She ends up with Robert Redford, right?
Yeah.
In that movie? Yeah.
Because she was a realtor in a down market.
She was?
Yes, she was a realtor.
Is that how that
Yes,
went down?
and then
he was looking for a house?
He's looking for I thought
it started in a casino.
No, it's happened in a casino. They boned, okay? They boned, and then it's the recession in the early 90s, and she's sitting at her open house, and the flamboyant gag, he's like that guy that would do that, it's the 99 cents beauty pageant. It was like a weird show when we were little that you get carrots. Anyway, he was this actor. He's the broker. And
Rip Taylor.
Rip Taylor comes in.
Yeah.
And he goes, oh my God, it's finally over. She's like, what do you mean? He goes, I have someone that wants to look at $10 million houses right now. Which as a realtor, I was like, you can't just make an appointment for a $10 million house that day. And she goes, oh, okay. So she just happened to know of $10 million listings that she could go to and how to get there. And she's like, okay. And she goes out there and it's him. And she gets in his limo and he's like, oh, obviously. And then all of a sudden she's having so much trouble with Woody, or maybe they're already separated at the time. Then she starts dating him again.
But then she goes back to Woody Harrelson.
She goes back to Woody Harrelson when he tries to buy a hippo at a big fancy, because she liked hippos.
Right.
And he spends all the money that they were going to do to rebuild their house on the Pacific Coast Highway. He puts it towards the hippo.
Oh, that seems.
But then they end up at Santa Monica Pier right before the riots.
It's a good movie, actually.
Okay, so, I mean, you just look like such an asshole. You look like such an asshole that this was your thing, that you revealed it to Playboy.
Yeah.
Like if he had never revealed it and we didn't know it, we'd be like, oh, another quarantine divorce bites the nuts.
Right.
But maybe this is why they did, because they followed the rules of the quarantine and he couldn't fuck anybody else for the last 3 months.
Yeah. I don't
He's
know.
freaking out. It was working when he could bone a bunch of people.
Yeah. So that's over. How long
Also,
does that
being a
last?
celebrity, who's that person that's like boning you and being quiet and not insisting that it goes to being more than just boning? Like, oh, so what do you do? Well, I teach Pilates. I'm also a side piece to the guy on the HBO series about Silicon Valley.
Yeah. But don't you go in the case of swinging? Isn't there like a whole, like a network that you go to, and we're into it, you're into it. Let's all meet up.
Yes, the sweet. Yeah, there's that. But that's why the open marriage thing, I think, is just you're kind of on your own. Like you're
Right.
on like dating sites, or you're doing Ashley Madison, or I don't know. And she's so cute. And then to have that sprung on you after you get married.
Yeah, that seems weird. That's basically just saying, if the marriage was a mistake, can I fuck other people?
Yeah,
That seems like I would have been out there.
I know. And I guess she just thought, well, maybe it's a phase, or maybe I can be so cool. It's fine. So they broke up. Juliana Hough finally did break up with her boyfriend. She's been getting real weird.
She's out. Yeah, this one has been
Husband.
happening for a while.
Yes, she is the one who said, I'm really not
Yeah.
100% straight.
But that made no sense because, But then she said, not really. Like, I'm not 100% straight in my thoughts or something.
Yeah.
She never acted out on her lesbian ways.
When I was watching Real Housewives, 90 Day Fiance, there's this YouTuber that is their first gay couple, and she is bisexual, and she goes to Australia and meets this other bisexual girl, and anyway, they didn't get along. She comes home and she tells her Czech mom that it wasn't just a friend, that it was romantic, and she's like, and I'm bisexual.
Yeah.
And the mom's like, well, I'm not going to lie. I always imagined you to be with a Prince Charming, but if you're bisexual, and I felt like she was going to say, there's still hope. Like,
right.
like she's like, okay, well,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of
But-
confusing. So I don't know if Juliana's what she's going to do.
I've also read that she's been seen with another guy now. Or there was another, they were quarantined in different homes or something I had read. And that's always a little strange. But he was somewhere in Idaho, maybe, or something like that. And she was in LA with like another guy. That's what I heard.
Yeah.
So I think this thing was on the rocks for a while. Remember, they tried to make her a movie star for a minute. She was going to be a movie star. They were going to make her a big deal.
Yes.
It just didn't really pan out. So then now she's like a professional. She just goes from one judging job to another. I feel like there's a whole world for celebrities.
Was
to just be
Juliana
judges.
Hough in
Yes.
like the Dancing on the Tables?
No. Coyote Ugly?
Yeah.
No.
Who was in that?
That was Piper Paraboo. It was.
I feel like she
Yeah.
was in some movie, though.
She was. She was in Rock of Ages. She was the star
okay.
of Rock of Ages. Yes, she was, and that was like going to be her big movie, but it kind of bombed. And didn't she go over to America's Got Talent for like a minute? She was a judge there.
Yes.
Yeah, and that didn't last. I mean,
They
got rid
cleaned
of her
house.
quick. Yeah,
Now America's Got Talent. It's
I watched it. You told me to watch, and I did.
It's Sofia
Sofia Vergara,
Vergara and
Heidi Klum is back.
Heidi Klum, and
Howie
then
Mandel
yes.
and Simon Cowell. Yes,
Simon Cowell got alarmingly thin.
yes, and
It's really freaked out our family how thin he is.
Are
It's
you-
like he's like almost looks like a ballroom dancer. You know how they have like no hips?
Oh, really?
I think what happened was his face got real fat with the fillers, and he
Yeah.
looked really weird. And you turn from the side, and there'd be this protruding cheek. I think he let that all go down and lose weight, let that dissolve, and lost weight, and then got a proper facelift.
Yeah. I tried to watch. I do watch that show sometimes. I kind of enjoy it.
So bad.
I mean, I think it's like for special needs people. I cannot. Like, I watched the episode 1 of
Yeah.
this season
Yeah.
premiere, and they bring out these pigs, to dance.
Yes.
Or whatever. I was like, who's watching this? Is this is aimed at like the dumbest people
It
in the
is so
world?
dumb. And then they have like a couple bad people come on in
Yeah.
a row, and they keep showing these like Latina dancing sisters or singing sisters something, and it's bad person. They're like, oh.
Waiting. Yeah.
And then they're like, my God, is there anybody going to be good after these last horrible people?
Right.
And then the Latina dancing sisters come in and like kill it.
Yeah, And also, I feel like in order to be on the show, you need, especially with the comedians, you have to have some sort of. You can't just be a normal comedian. There has to be some sort of handicap.
Have you seen any comedians yet?
Well, there was the girl who, in the very beginning of it, before the pigs come out, that's a comedian. The girl's introducing herself.
Oh, I missed that. Okay.
She was on another comedy show.
Right.
But anyway, so she's like very strange looking. I don't know what her handicap is outside of
Looking strange.
her face. Yeah, but she's going to be the comedian on it, I guess, or whatever.
Colton, the virgin.
Oh, the virgin football player.
Yes, and his fiance that he asked to marry him on his show.
Yeah.
That was the girl he ended up with, right, Kelly? Anyway, they split. And his book came out during the pandemic, which is not a great time to have the book come out because you can't make all the rounds. But in his book, he said he wondered at one time if he was gay because people would tell him he was gay and he wondered if he was and he didn't really know. But then he, realized he liked this girl.
This guy was a bachelor, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So I predicted this. If somebody that can find the episode, because I'm too lazy to find it. But my prediction when the book came out was they will not get married.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. He'll be kind of solo for a while. And then in a couple years, he'll say, I'm exploring my sexuality because I didn't have sex for so long. I don't identify as gay, straight, or bi, but I am exploring my sexuality, and that might be with the same sex. He'll say something like around about something.
Okay.
Now, I don't know that he'll end his days with a man, but something is going to happen with him and a guy.
I'm going to go a little bolder than that and say he's 100% ending his days with a man. 100%. When I watched a few of these episodes of The Bachelor, I was like, yeah, this is obviously a guy who's raised in a Christian home or something.
Right.
So he's obviously having issues with it, and so that'll come out.
I do sometimes think with the virgin thing, like same way I felt about so many priests that were gay later on is like they were raised in a super Catholic home,
right?
And at 13, you have to denounce your sexuality and go to the seminary and know that you're never going to get married. And they kind of didn't know what was up, but they knew, I don't have to have sex with a woman for the rest of my life because they weren't attracted to a woman.
Yeah.
Then they get into a seminary with a bunch of other closeted gay guys.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, that's why we don't mind not getting married.
Yeah, I totally agree.
But you just you didn't know it totally. You just knew that it didn't sound like such a huge sacrifice to you.
So they were not married. They just split.
They split. But he made it very clear that they were boning.
Yeah.
I think that they did bone. But God, did that cut off after a while because he wasn't really that into it.
I hate to get... I'm sorry to make this. This might be too dirty for this, and I'm sorry.
Well, then we have to cut it out, but maybe we'll save it.
No,
Go.
but I'm saying that I believe that like a guy who's closeted like this, and maybe he is, but I'm saying he is. I believe he has no problem with once or twice boning.
Yes.
I believe where you find a problem
yes.
with a man like this is the going down. I feel like when they're like, no, I don't do that, then you got a problem. Fucking is like, all right, we can do that. I'm not connected to it that way. You know what I mean? Do you believe that's true?
I do and I don't.
Okay.
Because I do think there's just some guys that, they weren't.
I'm saying there are straight guys who don't do that kind of stuff.
I think people know to do that as like an appetizer. Like everyone's taught how to have sex and
sure.
you have to do that.
Yeah.
And then I think there's couples and there's people that they're kind of like, I won't make you do it if you don't make me do it. We're both fine boning. And I don't think that means that guy's gay. I think it means no. Girls don't love giving blowjobs.
Right. I'm saying there are straight guys who don't do it for whatever. Wiz Khalifa, no, the other guy.
I don't think, and I still think like guys. Any guy they will do it. There's nothing they're like not going to puke. It's
Khalid,
just not.
DJ
they're
Khalid.
Not dying for it.
Yeah.
And then there's guys that like that's their favorite thing to do.
Right.
Like they're going to go for an hour, and the girl's like, "Oh my god, let me go to bed." Like I don't know. There's just certain.
I believe that is. Because I know I have a lot of gay friends. Like we have the girl. Like one time, after a Depeche Mode concert, I met some, some one of those type of girls. She went to the Depeche Mode show, and she's like, I'll fuck anybody. So like they did one time I fucked.
Yes.
But then after that, so I ask, did you do anything else? No, I'm not doing that. So I just believe.
I mean, my one of my fantasies, one of my dreams, as the world evolves,
Okay.
is that there'll be a time when, just like there's women who were with men a bunch and then all of a sudden looks across the room and falls in love with a girl, and like late in life lesbians.
Right.
There's never late in life gay guys. I mean, there's never late in life heteros, gays. What I'm saying is, you were gay first.
Right.
You were everyone knew you were gay. You were in the theater group.
Yeah.
You were applauded. You were on Ellen's show for being the two cutest prom
And
kings.
then you married a woman.
Yeah, you always had boyfriends.
Yeah.
Your parents were like, I finally got the gay son I dreamed of. You felt maybe pushed into it.
Right.
Okay. That was your first sexual experience. It felt good. You liked it. You thought that's what everybody did.
Yeah.
And then one day you start hanging out with a woman, you touch a boob.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of like this. But I've said it to gay guys. They say absolutely not.
I'm trying to.
Never going to ever happen.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, could it?
Has it ever happened in the history of? Does anyone know?
Does anybody know anyone in the history of the world that not a crazy one night with my best girlfriend? We were on ecstasy, and actually, I can't believe I fucked you last night. I know I can't either. Abiza's crazy. Go back to being gay. I mean, you go. I actually want to be in a relationship with a woman and spend the rest of my life with a woman, and I only want to fuck women from now on. After you were gay first. For several years.
Okay.
Several years.
I can't think of anybody like that. I'm trying to think of like famous people that went that route. But
if that's you, I'm inviting you to come on Juicy Scoop.
Yeah.
Because I sadly don't think it exists.
But you're saying it's a man. He was a gay man who's now in.
He was a teen, a gay man. He always identified as gay. He was happy to be gay. It was a positive gay thing.
The Bernie went from straight to lesbian.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A lot of people have done that.
That's my favorite. That's late life lesbian.
And
that's also like every guy was an asshole. I hate men.
Right.
I love that. I also love, I never knew I was gay until I met Ellen DeGeneres or whoever.
Yeah.
And sometimes those women do go back to men.
Yeah.
But we never hear it this way.
No, I can't think of any. And like maybe Rock Hudson.
Like just imagine you're a woman. You have a couple sons. You always thought the youngest one was gay.
Yeah.
And sure enough, he's gay. He's like, tells you at 16, you're like, we know, honey. He goes to prom with a group of people, but he's got a boyfriend. Everyone's cheering him on. It's very positive.
Right.
He goes off to college. You're like, who are you seeing now? And he's like, well, Colin and I just didn't work out. Okay, that's fine. And then, you visit him in this city. Are you seeing anyone? Yes, I'm seeing this hot investment banker, Raul. Oh my God, can I meet him? Can I meet my new son-in-law? You're having a great time.
Yeah.
And then around 30, you're like, when are you and Raul going to get babies? Like Andy Cohen got one of those babies, and so did Andrew Cooper. When am I going to get my baby grandson from my two best guys? Mom, are you sitting down? Why? What's wrong? I have something to tell you. What? You are going to get that baby. I am? Because I've been seeing someone named Jennifer.
Oh.
And she's pregnant from me actually having sex with her. We didn't have to go anywhere. We did lab, nothing.
Yeah. Wow.
What are you saying? Well, what about Raul? Well, Raul was really upset. He caught us. He came home from work early one day and we were fucking missionary style, and it was horrifying for him. And he's like, I don't even know you anymore. And I'm like, I don't know myself.
Yeah.
But I'm in love with Jennifer, and she's pregnant, and I never knew I was straight. I never identified as straight. I didn't think of myself as straight, but I'm straight.
But will you go down on her? That's That's the question the mother asked. I've never heard that one. I think you might be onto something there. Yeah.
I mean, I would hope just as the female race
Yeah.
that there's a
would be like,
chance.
let's take a gay person we all know.
Oh my God! I mean,
Let's
how
take
many
Ross,
gay?
Let's take Ross Matthews,
Yes.
who we all know.
Yes.
That would be like if Ross, in a couple of years,
Yes.
had a wife.
Absolutely.
I don't see that one coming. I don't. But you never know.
I know, but I've talked to Jeff Lewis about it.
Well,
'cause
Jeff
he's
seems a little more manly.
And like, I met him in college. We had fun. I was attracted to him. We made out like one night at the night out, like we're friends. And I've said, have you ever considered it? You've had a couple relationships that haven't
he's had
worked
women.
out.
Jeff Lewis has
I
had
think
women.
early on, but
Yeah,
not in like
yeah.
the last, 15 years.
Right.
And I'm like, and he jokingly was like, I don't know, maybe like, I don't think he will, but because I don't think he's attracted to it. But speaking of Meredith Baxter Birney,
Mm-hmm.
I hope everybody knows to watch the greatest miniseries that's about to start tonight.
What is it?
The Betty Broderick story on USA tonight, Monday
now,
night.
who's Betty Broderick again?
I don't love the casting. Who is it again?
Who?
Amanda Peet.
Amanda Peet. Oh, she gets a lot of work.
I know, but I'm not. Listen, I know everything about Betty Broderick. I have read books.
Now wait, give me. I'm
Betty. Oh my God!
Yeah, I know who it is,
It's
but I don't know.
the greatest murdering your husband story of all time. San Diego, 1989, La Jolla socialite. Her husband, she put through medical school and law school.
Yeah.
They had 4 kids. She was blonde. She liked to shop. She was fun. She was like super mom. And he got a 21-year-old assistant who he started having an affair with. They broke up. I mean, she kicked him out. They eventually got divorced. And according to her, it was, the ugliest divorce.
Yeah.
And she didn't feel like she got her fair share of it. She would leave horrible messages with the girl looked like her when she was younger. She went to the same stationery store. She used the same Christmas photographer. She had the same china for her wedding day. They took similar posed photos from the girl's wedding day when he marries the assistant.
Right.
To the point when she just got a gun and killed them both in their bed.
Betty Broderick killed him.
Yes. She's still in prison today.
Yeah, I remember.
Because she never was sorry. She said she felt relief in killing them because she thought they were gaslighting her and torturing her with their life that looked so similar to the life that she once had.
Can I ask you a question? I keep hearing this word, and I'm
gaslighting.
Yes, I have no idea what it means. I keep hearing it. Every fucking article I read, this guy gaslighting.
Yeah,
gaslighting,
it's a hot word.
gaslighting.
It's a hot
It's
word.
a hot word right now, gaslighting. Am I stupid that I have no idea what it means?
No, I mean, I think it's sort of the triggered of 2019.
Okay.
Everyone said, I know you were triggered by that. I know you're triggered. You're triggered, dog.
Also, it's the same meaning of
No,
triggered?
but I'm just saying it's another word that's being overused.
Yeah.
Gaslighting has always been around. It comes from a movie.
Gaslight.
Yes.
It's a movie
And it's kind of something, basically it's like proof that when people are like, you're making me crazy. I know I didn't, it's literally people trying to make you crazy, trying to say like, you didn't, like the typical is, you're my boyfriend.
Okay.
And I'm seeing a lot of very suspicious behavior that you're cheating on me. Okay. You're coming home, going straight to the shower. You're about to run a marathon. These are all classics.
Oh, really? Why run a marathon?
You take
Why
your
is that
phone
one?
into the bathroom because you got to get fit.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Maybe we're married. Okay.
Yeah.
Make it that we're married. Okay.
I agree with the phone in the bathroom, but I think everybody does that now. But that is an interesting one.
Phone in the bathroom. I've actually seen some evidence. I like went and saw you writing back to some high school girlfriend on Facebook.
Okay.
Saying you look great, this or that.
Yeah.
I think something is going on with this particular person. I don't know why you talk about her, and And so then I start bringing up like, what's going on? And like, and you keep going, you're crazy.
I say, you're crazy. You're crazy.
You're crazy. You know, you're crazy. What are you talking about? Like, you know, she's so sweet. She's actually heartbroken that you would even think this about her. She thinks you're wonderful.
Right.
Like, what? You really hurt her feelings when you walked in on us.
So that would be me gaslighting
Yes, that's
you.
what you'd be saying. And like, just continually. I know I'm going to get a lot of comments on this because I'm probably not saying completely right. But it's just like.
I think you are.
So like in the gaslighting sense of Betty Broderick, Betty said she would get things in the mail. This is 1989.
Yeah.
Of ads for wrinkle cream and for weight loss stuff.
Right.
And she believed it was coming from Dan and his new wife, Linda. And that they would like almost like say, and you know, in her mind, he was saying the things that would make her go crazy. In his mind, he'd be like, look, I'm telling you right now, if you leave me another horrible, vulgar message on my machine or come to my house, I'm deducting $500 from your payment this month. I know you're not going to like it. I know you're going to think I'm making you crazy, but I'm telling you, you better not. And then to her, she'd be like, that set me off more. He knew that. Like, she wasn't really wrong. I mean, I think there's two ways to look at it because I've studied it so much, but who was really wrong? But anyway, the show is on. Okay. I don't agree with the Amanda Peet casting. Christian Slater's the guy, and that's a pretty good match.
That is good. What network is that on?
USA.
Oh, okay.
But Amanda Peet's like, I can't believe it only took one bullet to get Dan Broderick. She doesn't sound like her.
Yeah.
Like, there were enough interviews that you could have like really gotten her voice down and imitated her.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
She's
brunette. She's like brunette in it. It's like, what? Like, she should be blonde.
Yeah.
Betty Broderick was blonde. Meredith Baxter Burney was blonde. Being blonde was a big thing. She's Southern California. She was a stunner. And then she kind of like let herself go. Not let herself go, but even back then, she's a 40-year-old woman. There wasn't Botox and stuff.
Yeah. Well,
at least now you can save it. You can look like the 21-year-old that your husband's fucking.
Yeah.
You have means, kind of, but you can much more easily than you could back then.
I know a lot of people who get their faces peeled off every 7 months or whatever, and they still look.
I don't agree with the peeling off your face.
Yeah.
I feel like it takes away some of that protective layer that you need, and then it's like you see their veins coming through their face. It's like a glossy vein face. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah.
You know when it's like shellacked and it's like veiny?
I know a few people like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that was the reason why.
But I mean, you know, other people may feel differently.
I was walking down the beach in Malibu last week, and these gorgeous homes, like right on the water, like $1 billion homes, and sometimes you could see into them. For the most part, they're all vacant. Always.
I know they're always vacant.
Ever. That's why I feel about selling Sunset. I'm like, there's nobody ever. These people buying these homes, they're never going to be there.
But they're never going to have a pool party.
I pass like 20 houses in Malibu,
to the pool
and
party.
there's never anyone at these houses. They're empty all the time. But last week I saw a woman in one of them. It's like one of the gorgeous ones, and she was all gauzed up. She must have been out there like
getting a good quarantine.
Yeah, like staying there for 3 weeks, staying in the Malibu house.
Yeah.
But I spotted her.
Well, you are returning to stand-up, Chris.
Yes. Well, yes, hopefully. Could still not happen, but June 11th, Tacoma Comedy Club, Tacoma, Washington. June 11th, 12th, and 13th, Tacoma, Washington. Please, Juicy Scoopers, come out. There's only 80 people allowed in, so I need them.
I wanted to say to people, like, okay, I've gone to some restaurants now, Palm Desert, and then this past weekend out in Ventura County, where we've gone with this social distancing restaurant, and the waiter comes with a mask on and the gloves, and you're at your own table, but you're further from the other tables. Can I just tell you, it's the best combination.
You mean it's good that the people are far away?
I mean, comedy clubs, I want them to be more full.
Yeah.
But you might want to take advantage of this time and enjoy the fact that you can go to a restaurant and go to a place, and providing you have a reservation, it's not crowded.
Right.
Sometimes the couple places I went have a limited menu, as they should, because they shouldn't buy as much as they can for when they're full.
Yeah.
So maybe there's only like 5 entrees and 3 apps or whatever, but so that they can, not be throwing away tons of food. But it's like kind of nice.
And what about, I heard they also had to have the menu has to be the throwaway menu, like just one sheet.
Yeah, so it's just like, which is okay because it's a
Yeah.
limited menu. So they type it up that day, they give it to you, and then throw it away.
Right.
Also, like, I mean, I don't think. Look, I think all these rules will just go away, and everyone will just act
Eventually,
like it didn't.
I believe that.
I mean, I
Yeah.
think it will.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, providing you're comfortable
Some
with
things.
it,
I don't know if handshaking is going to come back that quickly. I think that's going to be a while. Handshaking
and the hugging.
and the hugging, which I'm loving. Leaving a party now is the greatest thing ever. You just walk out the door. You don't. I mean, there used to be 15, 20 minutes of hugging.
I also kind of like the smaller gatherings.
Smaller
Like
gatherings
you
are
kind of
good.
like have like for one thing, you know, no one can be mad at you if they find out that you had two couples over
Right.
because you're like, you know, we wanted to keep it to 6 people.
Yeah.
Our house is only so big. We didn't
Right.
want anyone on top of each other. Like, but you could. So in this phase, I feel like a lot of people, and it's fine if you disagree, but don't be the fun police and get on people because technically we can do it. You can now. You could have a month ago and probably been fine, but whatever. You know, get together with a few people.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't have 25 people over, but you could have 6 or 7.
I'm still shocked at how scared a lot of people are of going out. Like I've seen like people like, is restaurants open? Would you go? And I read the comments underneath and I was like, no, too soon. Even the comedy club that's opening, they did something in Tacoma. People are like, no, I'm not going. It's too soon. Like, wow, when is it not too soon? It's June 1st, for fuck's sake. You know, like
I don't know. I just say, I respect anybody. If you don't want to go,
yeah, no, me too.
if you like, that is fine. But if you want to go and you want to experience it, I'm saying it's kind of nice not having these places be crowded. I mean,
Yeah, I think
because
it might
eventually,
be nice in comedy clubs too. Like the waiter can now or waitress can now get through the table and get the drinks to you.
Yeah.
and, you know, it might be nice that they don't have to climb over.
I just think
tables.
eventually it will go back to normal, and there will be a wait, and you won't be able to get a table, and you will be stuck in traffic. So, you know, you might want to just enjoy this time if you're comfortable with it.
Yeah, they just built a new football stadium here in Los Angeles, 90,000 seats down there by the airport.
Uh-huh.
What's going to happen? Like, is there ever going to be 90,000 people in a place ever again? Like Taylor Swift was supposed to open it like in a few weeks. She was supposed to be the first act there, and that's canceled. So I don't know if that's ever coming back. Like Dodger State, like big crowds. I don't know. Anyway, we could talk about this all day long.
I think yes.
Yeah. Yes, you say yes.
Yeah, that'll be the last thing, but yes.
Right.
Because once everything else goes and it really does like die down, or there is a vaccine or something, then I
Yeah.
think they will go okay. You know,
Yeah. All
I
right.
hope. In the meantime,
had to go into
in the
it-
meantime, like kind of just enjoy like enjoy it, like
love
enjoy
it.
the downtown, enjoy the no FOMO, and just enjoy. You know,
Have you walked into an establishment yet that has to take your temperature?
Yes.
Have you had this weird thing? where
love
it's-
it. I think that's brilliant.
Where they just
I think
lean-
every place
you
should
lean
have it.
forward and they
Lean forward. They don't even touch your head.
No.
And yeah,
I was also a little pissed they don't show me what my temperature was. I'd like them to show me. You know, I remember she did it to me, and I was like, oh, I'd really like to see what that was. And I was a little upset that she didn't go, you know, you're good.
I personally think that, and you know,
But when is it, you know, there's going to be a confrontation when somebody goes, some poor hostess has to go, I'm sorry, you're 100, you know, you're 101, you can't come in. There's no way people would freak out, right? I mean, what if you're in a party of 4? Say you and Peter are going out to dinner with you're another couple, and Peter's got 101 fever, and you know,
I'll say, see you at home.
yeah, I know it's going to be a fucking problem.
I'm good. You're not. Go home.
Yeah,
You should go home and not get more sick.
yeah.
I mean, I do think people will start to feel that way, and where it won't be shameful. It won't be something that you hide. How many times did people try to hide that, like at work or
I
something,
always
where
did.
you're always like, no, it's just allergies.
Yeah.
You know, because you don't.
I never did not, no matter how sick I was, I went into work always.
I know.
Yeah.
And I think now people will be able to do that, and
Yeah.
it'll be good for everybody. So I think all of that. I'm just happy that it looks like schools are coming back. That's all I care about.
Who said that? I think that's like the last thing that's coming back. When did they say schools are coming back?
Oh, it's coming back.
Oh, yeah?
I think so.
All right.
Maybe not in New York, but I think here.
Yeah.
And certainly in other states, yes.
But when is not coming back this year? Like not this
Fall.
Yeah, so that's a new.
Yeah, that's what
a
I'm
new
saying.
semester.
Fall.
Yeah, yeah.
But there was a lot of talk that like they weren't.
Yeah,
And I think that they will now. It's fun days.
fun days.
Love you, Chris.
Love you back.
Bye.
Bye bye.